Well, Philadelphia sanitation workers are still on strike. We are entering day 6 of that strike. And a popular musician, CoolJ, had some things to say about this as he is making it known that he stands in solidarity with the workers in Philadelphia. What exactly are they asking for? Why are the sanitation workers on strike? Let's get into all of this, folks. And I know one damn thing. I know you all know. It is summertime. It is hot right now, right? And especially hot in Philly. I'm in Massachusetts. I know it's hotter in Philly because they're south of me. We all know what happens when the trash starts to pile up during the summer. It is not going to smell too good. What do they want? Let's get into it. This clip here from Philadelphia 6 ABC. Check it out.
Talks between District Council 33 leaders and the city fell apart again overnight. So the mountains of trash just continue to pile up on the streets this morning as sanitation workers remain off the job. Take a look at this massive amount of garbage the Chopper 6 found along Devereaux Avenue near Langdon Street in the Northeast. This is not a designated drop-off site, but it's kind of become a thing. People taking their garbage out there, and it is going to be a massive job to clean up. Look at how far that stretches. Action News reporter Corey Davis joins us now.
And I know it does not smell too good, honey.
Live from a sanitation center in Southwest Philadelphia with the very latest. And Corey, these temperatures and humidity only making the stench worse.
Yeah, Tam, a lot of people are dealing with that across the city, and the picketers right now continuing to strike. They're further down 63rd Street where it's quiet at the moment. And over here is where residents are, where they have dropped off their trash at the designated sites here, the 63rd Street Sanitation Center. These employees here, the ones who are not part of the union, are the ones who are emptying these bins that are continuing to be filled. So after a tense couple of days, city leaders are continuing to remind the picketers to protest peacefully and to allow access to facilities just like this one.
So they're scabs. They're breaking the picket line, basically. This is what these companies do. You see how the capitalist narrative continues, right? Like the union members are going on strike because we don't want to pay them a fair wage. We'll just get someone else to do that job. Yeah, they're scabs. Let's just call it what it is.
Today, the situation is more calm at the 63rd Street Sanitation Center in Southwest Philadelphia on the third day of the District Council 33 strike. But yesterday, law enforcement responded after workers on strike reportedly blocked other city employees from entering. This happened after a judge ordered picketers not to block access to buildings or facilities.
They should block access to her. First of all, I have a big problem about scabs. I got a big problem here, right? You're bringing in other people to do that job instead of paying the workers what they are owed. It's so obvious. You pay people what they're owed, you give people a living wage, and you don't run into this issue. But I don't blame them from blocking those other city employees from trying to come in and do that job. No, screw that, because that undermines the strike effort. The people need to be paid. What the capitalists are going to do, which is, of course, the companies, the corporations here, they are going to find people, not only that are willing to work for the wage that they're currently giving the sanitation workers right now, but they will find people that are willing to do that job for less. This is exploitation of the workers. So I don't fault the union members here for saying, no, you're not going to come in and do this job for us. No, they need to pay these people what they're owed. And a lot of this goes to the mayor. The mayor can totally get involved here and say, okay, we got to make some changes here. They need to get their just due. But that is the whole point of a union, so that you have some type of say within the company, so that people are getting paid what they're supposed to get paid, so that they are getting their benefits. That's the whole point of it. Now, to this point, this is also why I say unions are the first step, but they are not the end game. This is why I always say that we should be striving towards worker co-ops, where you own a piece of the company that you work for. This is why I think we need to push more towards that, because there's also been a number of times where union management has basically overrided the rank and file members, and they've decided to go whatever decision that they want to go to. They cave to the capitalist demands as well. So I think we need to keep that in mind. But I don't blame these workers. What else are they supposed to do?
The solicitor says law enforcement is trying to monitor protests across the city.
They are running around the city dealing with protesters who've been asked to move along, and they go right back. And this is putting a strain on our resources.
The solicitor also says some picketers have gone too far.
And the kind of things that we are dealing with are jammed locks at health centers. We couldn't get our doctors into the health centers today. Opening fire hydrants. Yesterday, they were slashing tires on trucks. Preventing trash drop-offs. We have residents going to drop off their trash and they're getting harassed on their way.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens, right? This is what happens. What did I tell you? That as long as you continue to step on the workers, one day the workers are going to rise up. Again, these sanitation workers are a part of the 99%. They're part of the 99%.
Police arrested 59-year-old Carnell Wilder. He's accused of slashing a PGW worker's tires Tuesday in Winfield Heights. Union leaders are urging members to follow the law and court orders. They're also asking the public to help support their demands for higher pay as the union's nearly 9,000 members continue to strike.
Nobody understands financial constraints more than our members, right? And so we're asking for a little bit of release so we can loosen our belt just a little bit instead of continuously keep tightening them. There's no more left to tighten.
No more left to tighten. Yeah, pay these people, man. Pay these people. Now, let's get into this a little bit more. WWS, they talked about this. Philadelphia city workers strike, a sign of rising class struggle in the United States. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? It goes on to say the strike began on Tuesday by 9,000 municipal workers in Philadelphia. Philly, don't forget, is the sixth largest city in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. It says they're battling the devastating consequences of decades of austerity. The workers who were offered an insulting 13% wage increase over 4 years by the mayor, what I tell you about the mayor, are confronting the collapse of public services that have been slashed to the bone. The school district, where 14,000 teachers have also voted to strike, is facing a $300 million deficit. And the city's transit agency is preparing a doomsday budget that would cut services in half. Workers are rejecting with contempt the claim that there is no money for vital services on which millions rely. So let me just push back on something here. So here's the thing. All of these major cities send money to Israel. All of these major cities, Boston sends $10 million a year to Israel. So you see, the workers are correct when they say we don't buy it that you don't have the money. They do have the money. They're sending it elsewhere. And they've been sending it elsewhere for years. Again, taking care of Israel, but not taking care of the United States. Everybody needs to understand this, okay? It goes on to say here, in 2023, Philadelphia metro area had a gross metropolitan product of $557.6 billion and is home to 13 Fortune 500 corporate headquarters. The real issue is that the city working class is being bled dry in the interest of corporate profit, 100%. Mayor Sherelle Parker, a Democrat, has accused workers of property vandalism, raising the specter of using police repression against the strike. Didn't I tell you these were the times we were headed for? That eventually the workers would rise up. Didn't I tell you that if you continue to look down on the people, the 99%, if you continue to not pay people a living wage, to not give people the benefits, to not give people health care, what did I tell you that would happen? The strike, however, enjoys overwhelmingly support from city residents, despite efforts to turn public opinion against the workers. On social media, many are calling for the growing piles of garbage on the city streets to be dumped in front of City Hall, expressing deep hostility towards the entire political establishment. The Philadelphia strike reveals the real social force capable of opposing the Trump administration, the working class. The Trump administration, with the support and the complicity of the Democratic Party, is gutting education and public services as part of a wholesale assault on the working class. So let's get into this a little bit as well. Okay? Because This right here is something that the mayor could fix just like that. The mayor could fix it. The mayor is choosing not to fix it. And you're going to see that in this video here, where there's a tense exchange that's happening here between a sanitation manager and a union member. Check this out.
You on strike, bro. You crossing the line. At local 27. I'm not worried about none of that. I'm not worried about none of that. I'm not worried about none of that. This is a strike zone. It's a strike zone. We on strike. It's a strike line. Come on, kid. Come on with that, man. You know the rules, bro. I got you. You know the rules, man. Right, come on, man. We on.
So you see how one of the managers was ready to go in and go to work. This is why I continue to say the end game should be worker cooperatives. You see how management, by the way, management backs management. Anybody who tells you differently is lying to you. Management backs management, is always going to back management, even when management is wrong. So do you see how the manager wanted to try to go in there and do the job and just walk over the strike line and all that type of stuff? That's what I was talking about. They are going to back management.
Strike, my man. We on strike, man. We not moving nothing. We not moving nothing. We on strike. And that's what it is. That's what it is, man. Respectfully, my man. Respectfully, we on strike. Respectfully.
Tell it to the police.
I will. I will. Respectfully, we on strike. We not moving. Tell that to the mayor. This the mayor's fault, not ours. This the mayor's fault. We not doing that, man. We not doing that. We on strike, man. And that's what we gonna do till we get a fair contract, man. Come on, man. Respectfully, bro. Respect us, man.
Yeah, there you go, folks, because that's the thing. The mayor can fix this. The mayor is choosing not to fix it. I'm so glad that he said that. Just a reminder to people, stop blaming the workers. Stop waving your finger at the workers for, oh, they're not working. They're not picking up the trash. Take that accountability with the mayor. The mayor can fix this just like that. So don't point your fingers at the workers, okay? We're not going to do that here. That's what the mayor wants you to do. That's what corporations want you to do. That's what the elites, they want you to do. They want you to point your fingers at the workers instead of pointing your fingers at these politicians and holding them accountable. We don't do that over here. Now, what was interesting is that CoolJ, rapper CoolJ, also decided to stand in solidarity with the workers. Apparently, he was supposed to perform in Philly, and he had a statement that he wants to get across to all of you.
Yo, so I understand there's a lot going on in Philadelphia right now, and you know, I never ever want to disappoint my fans, and especially in Philadelphia. Y'all mean too much to me, but there's absolutely no way that I could perform, cross a picket line and pick up money when I know that people are out there fighting for a living wage. I'm not doing.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, because there's a number of artists that would have just totally overlooked this and said, whatever, I'm about to get paid. But he understands it. Again, he didn't have to do that, but he understands. How am I going to go to Philly and get paid while there are people there who are fighting for a living wage right now? Just don't feel right. Kudos to CoolJ for doing that again, because he don't have to do that. Most artists would not. But he gets it. He understands. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way to go.
Fighting for a living wage. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I've been coming to Philly my whole life. You know, I have respect for the city, you know what I'm saying, of course. And I hope that, you know, the mayor and the city can make a deal. I hope it works out. I'm still gonna come to Philly in case it works out. I'm gonna be in town, y'all. But I'm just letting you know. I'm not gonna cross a picket line and perform for money when people are hurting. That's it. So I love y'all. I'm on my way to Philly, and peace and love.
That is what I'm talking about. We're gonna drop the beat, fam. Dance with me. Dance with me. Drop the beat in the street. All right. That is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That is being a damn boss. That's what I'm talking about. Not looking out for yourself, not focusing on, well, I don't care, I'm going to get paid, which a lot of celebrities would do. A lot of musicians would do. Whatever, I'm about to get this paper, right? CoolJ knows what's the moral thing to do here? You got people asking for a living wage, and the mayor can totally fix this. The mayor can fix this. So LL's like, people asking for a living wage, it kind of don't feel right with me to just show up there and get all this money and perform. Now, some of the fans may be upset and say, well, I paid for the tickets and da-da-da. I sincerely hope you would understand that what CoolJ is doing is more important than you going to a concert and seeing him perform on stage. LL has been to Philly multiple times. This ain't the last time. He'll be back again at some point. But the reality is he took the right position, and that is so important. So kudos to LL for being a real one for that one. And to the mayor of Philadelphia, you are the one that is holding this up. Give those workers a living wage and stop pointing your fingers at the workers for something that you can fix. Period. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.